Okay, everyone. So, Pam wanted me to come to you tonight. So, I'm just going to tell you what I do. It's basically just having a conversation. So, you may want to get out some pen and paper because I do have a couple specific things that I do. So, anyways, the key is really to fall in love with recruiting, right? And I hate to use that word recruiting. I call it sharing from the heart. It's a very unselfish act, and it can literally change someone's life. So that's how I look at it, and it's a beautiful thing, right? So, number one, you're going to ask everyone, and you've probably heard that before, but that is key because if you don't ask anybody, you're not helping anybody, and you're not getting anywhere. So, you're going to ask everyone, and you're not going to judge anybody, and that is a really hard thing sometimes for people to do, but just don't want to judge anybody, and just take that off the table. So, if you're new, you can start by asking a friend or a family person to practice on them because you may have some nerves, and you can always tell them, hey, we can turn this into the real thing. If you think that they may be interested after kind of telling them, and just you can even say that even if you think they're not interested, just to see what they say. So you can start by doing that if you're new. Obviously, I didn't do that. I've been in Tupperware for 26 years. So, and I can tell you though, when I first came into Tupperware, I had no idea what I was doing, like us baby, and I recruited 102 people my first year in Tupperware, and I wasn't counting or anything. I didn't even realize what I was doing. I was just so super excited, and I was telling everybody what I love. Okay, and then I had to figure out what was I doing. That was it, basically. All right. There's seriously no magic potion or anything like that.
Yeah.
But did someone ask me something? Sorry.
No, I think they just had they're
Okay.
unmuted. Yeah.
Okay. So I do have a tip for you. So I heard this one time and it stuck with me, and I use it for recruiting, and I also use it for dating my parties too. So it's if you want to be in sales, you have to ask 5 times. Okay. This is definitely something you want to write down. Okay. And then like embed it in your head. So I'm going to say it again. If you want to be in sales, you want to be successful, you have to ask 5 times. Um, Mostly people ask one time and they get a no, or they don't get an answer and they stop asking. All right. And that is not going to get you a yes. It usually takes people, I hate to say it, 5 times to say yes. All right. In sales, it's statistically somewhere. All right. So you're going to be persistent, but not pushy. Right. And there's kind of like a fine line with that. And I'll give you an example of that too as we go on. So, about being persistent but not pushy. So, example. So, if I say to Susie Q, "Do you want to go to the mall?" and she says no, and I'm like, "Okay, did I really want her to go to the mall? No." I say, "Come on, Susie Q, let's go." She's like, "No, I'm really tired. I want to stay home." Okay. Did I really want her to go? No. Come on, we haven't seen you in like a month. Let's go. Like you're going with us. And she's like, no, seriously, I'm so tired. I'm going to fall over. Be like, look, I'm coming to get you. I'm bringing you a coffee that'll wake you up. We're going to have so much fun. You're going with us. You can see where this is going, right? I really wanted her to come. And that is how I look at it when I'm trying to get someone to host a party and obviously get them to sell Tupperware because I know what it's about and I know how good it could be for them, right? So that is just an example of asking again and again, but not in a pushy way, but in a caring way, right? So Pam asked me to just you guys like or talk to you about a message thread, and I just had to write it down because I don't have a computer with me because I'm on vacation, and I just have my phone. So bear with me because my handwriting is atrocious, and it's long. Okay. So this conversation started with somebody on the 5th of August, right? And it ended on the 12th. So it is a long conversation, but that's what this is, like I said. So my first ask, okay, is just basically a chat GPT. It's basically just like, this is the deal, this is what it's about, blah, blah, blah. It's just a generic chat GPT, like come back to Tupperware type of thing. Her response was, let me think about it. I didn't make much money before. And I was like, darn. Okay. So I'm like, okay, all you can do is try, right? We have so much to offer and it's worth a shot for only $5 and Champy is so awesome. So I'm reassuring her that it's okay. And it's like only $5. Her response, how long is the sale? Right. And I tell her it's only to the 12th. And I explained this because she's worried about money. Right. So now I'm keeping the conversation going. And I say, if you sell just $25, you're going to make your money back plus like $1.50. Right. It's going to be the plus. So I explained that to her. And now I know we have some conversation going. So I do send her like the meme of the perks, the $5 meme with the perks and like the bowls and the ready set activate or run set activate. So I sent her that because you can't like message that to a gazillion people in Messenger or it's going to knock you out. It's going to think it's spam. So I only send that to the people that I'm having a conversation with and it's actually getting somewhere. So basically I stress the free website too, because like I said, she's saying about the money. My okay, this is August 8th. No response from that. Okay. Do I quit? Most people would. But I know you got to ask 5 times. So this is my second ask. Um, are you interested or do you have questions? And I let it go. No response. Okay. August 10th. My third ask. Are you still thinking about it? Because she said she had to think about it, right? So are you still thinking about it? Um, and I told her again about she only has to sell $25. Come on, we can do that together, type of thing. So I'm reassuring her. My fourth ask. August 12th. It is the last day. So today is the last day to rejoin. And I want to make sure you don't miss out on this $5 opportunity if you're still interested. So it's, again, just keeping the conversation going. Her response, thanks. Okay, so most people will be like, forget this. I'm moving on. But I'm like, no, no. So I assume she said thanks. I assume she's going to do it. I send her all my information, my website. This is how you join. Okay. That's what I do. Her response, can I join for just the discount? So I said, yes, you can, no pressure. And she's like, okay. And so she's excited about the discount, right? So I'm going to keep it going with the discount. So, oh my gosh, you get 25% off. And if something's on sale, you get another, 25% off. If it's 50% off, that's almost like 75% off. So I'm like getting her excited about what she's interested in, right? So at this point, she says, I can't get in. She can't sign in. So I'm like, send me all your information. All right. So she sends me all her information and I find out she's only like 2 weeks older than me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we're like of the same birthday, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's building a relationship, right? That's what we're here for. That's what it's about too. And she's like, really? I'm like, yeah. And I'm just like, since she sent me her information, I call her. Okay, I'm not going to let her get frustrated or discouraged. She can't get in. I figured it was just something she was doing with the computer. So I call her, I put her in the system, we start talking, and it's usually fear. People don't want to do something. She's like, sometimes I get really busy and I can't I don't think I can post. And I'm like, look, just tell me. I'm like, if you're really busy, she said she bakes cookies and she gives them for gifts. And I'm like, if you're really busy, I can post for you or something if you tell me you're slammed for a week or something. And she was like, okay. So we have this conversation and we're just keeping it going. So now I'm getting her excited about selling because I tell her you can put your cookies in the 9x13 and now you're making money off the cookies and you're making money off the Tupperware. People, because she said people give her cookies as gifts, right? Sorry, that music distracted me. It doesn't take much. So she was like, oh my gosh. And now she's like, well, I did want to kind of sell to friends and family. And I'm like, okay, great. So I can set up a group for you. I think I did that before. And she was like, yeah, you did. I'm like, okay, we can get that going again. And we do. And she already has like 10 people in there and she's already excited. So it went from not responding to me at all to just wanting to do the discount to now we've got a party running. And here we are. But the cool thing is that she said, thanks for all your help. And I said, of course. And she said, you're the best. And I'm like, I try to make it easy for everybody. And she said, you did. And I'm like, oh, I so appreciate that. And it's just a conversation. Like, I think people make it so much harder than what it is. But my conversation keeps going because I really care. I've had people say to me, "Thank you so much for trying so hard," even if they said no, if they were a no. All right. So and then today I'm still building the relationship. Here's the information to get on the Zoom tonight. Like, and great job. Like you already got this many people in because people need to build that confidence too. So it keeps going. It just doesn't end. You just don't bring them in and then um, that's it. So there's different avenues to recruit. That was the one that I was going with, just messaging people because I didn't have parties or events going on because I'm on vacation. So there's different things that you can do. I don't know if Pam wanted me to get into recruiting at parties or events, but that was how I recruited. And that's what worked for me, being on vacation. And I was just going through, Messenger, and I never delete anything. Okay. Because I want to see my past conversations with people. And there's no way I'm going to remember all of that in 26 years. So I look back. Did I ask them before? Did I send them, this information before? What was our conversation? I want to know that. So I don't delete anything. So I have all that as like a refresher for me when I do message them again. So each conversation is different, guys, and it's just getting over a pain point. People will throw objections to you left and right, and most of them don't mean anything. It's just you have to actually get to the real pain point, and keeping the conversation going usually does that. So I will ask questions to keep it going. Like I said, questions like, "Do you have any questions? Do you need help signing up?" Okay, that keeps it going. Like I'm just assuming they're going to do it. And let me see this one. Oh, if you want to chat, like if you want to talk to me, because some people want to talk, I can talk to you. We can talk about it so you can make an informed decision. So I'm just trying to like keep the conversation going, especially if they're not getting back to me. I'm just popping that in there when there's silence because I don't know if they're thinking about it or they're trying to avoid me. So I just kind of like pop those things into there, and they will tell you if they're totally not interested. And sometimes I'm just curious, and I'm like, "No problem. Thank you for your time." And I will put this out there, okay? In a nice way, like I said, not pushy, but like, "Oh my gosh, I'm just asking everybody because this is such a great opportunity for only $5, and this can really bridge the gap since groceries and gas is so expensive. But thank you so much for your time." So if I put that out there, and she doesn't think, "Oh, well, maybe I should give this a try," because yeah, that really is expensive right now. If I don't hear anything back, then I know that I have done everything possible to help somebody. And if they don't need it, they don't need it, right? But I really I give them all that I have. So, think this one. So 80% of people are afraid. Okay, they're afraid that they will fail. They're afraid they'll lose money. They're afraid people laugh at them. They're afraid of so many things, right? And it's 80% of people. So, like I said in the beginning, if you don't ask, think of it, 80% won't. So you have to keep asking to get to that 20%. And you have to ask that 20% at least 4 to 5 times so that you can overcome their objection of basically just being afraid. Okay. That's basically it. So it's just a conversation, and it's about caring. It really, when it comes down to it, because you're taking that time, you're taking that extra time to really make sure that they get in on this special offer.
All
And
right.
that's all I did.
Girl, that was amazing. Girl, amazing. That's exactly what we need to hear. That your crazy number of recruits that you brought in came in through conversations, talking, talking, talking. And I also love how you encourage them to keep going with the conversation and to create that conversation. "Oh my goodness, you're 2 weeks older than me." Oh my goodness, I love your name of your street. I don't care what it is. It doesn't matter. Just create a conversation, and it can be honest. I mean, if you're in
Yeah.
person, it's always been, "I love your dress," or "I love your hair," or "Oh my goodness, your kids are adorable," or all those kind of things. If you're doing a text messaging, then you find other ways to do that. I love to say, "Hey, can we be friends on Facebook?" And then it's easy for me to see, oh my goodness, they've got Yorkies or they're, I'm an animal lover, so any animal's okay with me. But creating that conversation. And Dina, another thing I heard you say that we've heard over and over and over again over our years of success is, um, you know, 5 times. You have to ask 5 times because people need a sincere invitation. And asking once is not sincere. Asking twice is not sincere. Asking 3, 4, and 5 times, that's sincere. You really want them. All right. And I also
Mhm.
love when she said she doesn't delete her messages. Do not delete your messages. All right. Do not, because you never know when you're going to want to message her again and you don't want to say the exact same thing. You don't want to sound, you want to give her the best offer. You want to see what she said the last time. So you go in with a better approach, maybe, or with her hotspot. I also loved, when you said food is so expensive right now and the kids are going back to school right now, and you gave her all those reasons why extra money would really help. That was excellent. Excellent. Guys, I can so see why she recruited like crazy last week. Amazing.